I want you to imagine something for a moment. It's early morning, the house is quiet. You wake up, place your feet on the floor, and for a split second, everything feels fine. Then you stand, and your knees complain. Your lower back tightens. Your balance feels just a little less certain than it used to. You take a few careful steps and think, is this just what getting older feels like now? If you're over 60, you've probably had moments like this. Moments when your body whispers that it's not as strong, not as steady, not as forgiving as it once was. And maybe you've been told the same advice over and over again. Just walk more. Walking is the best exercise. Walk every day and you'll stay healthy. Walking is good. It truly is. But what if I told you that for many people over 60, there is one simple at-home exercise that can be even more powerful than walking, more protective for your joints, more effective for your balance, more helpful for your heart, your muscles, and even your confidence? And what if I told you this not as a fitness influencer, not as someone trying to sell you a program, but from the perspective of a surgeon who has spent decades looking inside the human body, repairing worn joints, stabilizing fragile spines, and seeing up close the consequences of weakness, stiffness, and falls? I have seen what happens when muscles that should support the hips, the knees, and the spine slowly go to sleep. I have seen how a small loss of strength can turn into a big loss of independence. I have also seen something else, something hopeful. I have seen how the right kind of movement, done gently and consistently at home, can reverse years of decline. How it can bring back stability, reduce pain, and make people feel, for the first time in years, that their body is working with them instead of against them. Many of my patients come in and say, "Doctor, I walk every day, but I still feel weak. I still feel unsteady. I'm still afraid of falling." And that's when I explain something most people are never told. Walking alone does not fully wake up the deep support system of your body. It doesn't fully engage the muscles that protect your joints and keep you upright when you stumble, turn, or reach. It's like having a house with beautiful floors but weak foundations. There's one simple movement, done slowly, safely, and at home, that activates those foundations. It strengthens the muscles that hold your pelvis, your thighs, your core, and your lower back together. It trains your nervous system to trust your legs again. It improves circulation, joint nutrition, and balance in a way that ordinary walking often cannot, especially after 60. In a moment, I'm going to tell you what that exercise is. But more importantly, I'm going to explain why it works, why it's safer for many seniors than long walks on hard pavement, and how it can quietly rebuild strength from the inside out. By the end of this video, you will understand how your muscles age, what they truly need to stay alive and responsive, and how a few minutes a day can change the way you move, stand, and even think about your own body. You will also learn the common mistake that well-meaning people make when they try to stay active after 60. A mistake that can actually increase joint wear and the risk of falls. And you'll discover how this one at-home exercise can be adapted, whether you are strong, weak, stiff, overweight, or recovering from years of inactivity. I want you to stay with me because this is not just about exercise. This is about independence. It's about being able to get up from a chair without pushing with your hands. It's about walking to the bathroom at night without fear. It's about trusting your legs when you step off a curb, climb a stair, or turn quickly to answer the phone. In my career, I've learned that the body at 60, 70, or even 80 is not broken. It is adaptable. It is responsive. It is waiting for the right kind of signal. And sometimes, the smallest, simplest movements send the most powerful messages to your muscles and your brain. Stay strong. Stay awake. Stay with me. So in the next part, I will start by explaining, in simple, clear language, what actually changes inside your muscles and joints as you age, and why walking, although helpful, often isn't enough on its own. Then I'll introduce the at-home exercise that, in my experience, can do more for stability and strength than miles of casual walking ever could. If you care about your future mobility, your balance, and your freedom to live without constant fear of pain or falling, you'll want to hear this. As we grow older, something very important happens inside our bodies, and most people are never clearly told about it. It's not just that muscles get smaller. It's that certain muscles, the deep stabilizing ones, start to lose their communication with the brain. They don't fire as quickly. They don't hold as firmly. They don't react in time when you shift your weight or lose your balance for a split second. Walking, as wonderful as it is for the heart and the mind, is a mostly forward, repetitive motion. The same muscles work in the same pattern, step after step. The body becomes efficient, almost on autopilot. And while that's good for endurance, it doesn't challenge the muscles that are responsible for keeping you upright when something unexpected happens, like when the ground is uneven, when you turn suddenly, or when you have to step sideways to avoid a fall. In surgery, we see this all the time. A patient may say, "I walk every day, doctor. I don't understand how I still fell and broke my hip." And when we look at their movement patterns, we see that the muscles around the hips and thighs, especially the ones that help you sit down, stand up, and stabilize your pelvis, are weak and slow to respond. Walking never really trained them to be strong in the way real life demands. There is a simple movement that directly targets these muscles. It mimics one of the most important actions you perform dozens of times a day, the act of sitting and standing. This movement is called the squat, but when I say that word, I don't mean the deep, fast, gym-style squat you might see young athletes doing. I mean a gentle, controlled sit-to-stand motion, using a chair if needed, performed slowly and with awareness. Why is this so powerful? Because every time you rise from a seated position, your body must coordinate your thighs, your hips, your core, and your lower back all at once. These are the exact muscles that protect your knees, your hips, and your spine. They are the muscles that catch you when you trip. They are the muscles that keep you from collapsing forward when you bend. From a medical point of view, this movement sends a strong signal to the nervous system. These muscles are still needed. Keep them alive. Keep them responsive. It improves something we call neuromuscular control, which is the speed and accuracy with which your brain can tell your muscles what to do. This is crucial for balance and fall prevention. Far more crucial than simply being able to walk in a straight line for a long time. There is also a circulation benefit. When you slowly lower yourself into a chair and then stand back up, you create a gentle pumping action in the large muscles of the legs. This helps push blood back toward the heart, improving oxygen delivery and reducing stiffness in the joints. It's like giving your joints a nourishing bath from the inside. Many people believe a myth that after 60, they should avoid bending their knees or loading their hips out of fear of wearing them out. In reality, joints are like hinges that are fed by movement. They have no direct blood supply. They rely on pressure and release to draw in nutrients. The right kind of controlled, pain-free loading can actually make them healthier, not weaker. Another myth is that balance is trained only by standing on one leg or using special equipment. In truth, balance begins with strength. If your legs and hips are strong enough to control your body weight smoothly, your balance improves naturally. The simple act of rising from a chair without using your hands is, in itself, a powerful balance exercise. I remember a patient in her early 70s who told me she could walk for 30 minutes a day but still needed help getting out of a low sofa. That is a warning sign. If you can walk but you cannot stand up easily, it means your endurance is better than your strength. And in daily life, strength is what saves you when something goes wrong. This is why, in many cases, a few minutes of proper sit-to-stand practice at home can do more for functional independence than a long walk around the block. It directly trains the movement you need to get out of bed, off the toilet, out of a car, and up from the floor. These are the moments when people get stuck, scared, or injured. In the next part, I'm going to show you how to use this simple exercise safely and effectively. We'll talk about how many times to do it, how to protect your knees and back, how to breathe, and how to combine it with small daily habits and nutrition choices that help your muscles respond even better. I will also point out the most common mistakes that can turn a helpful movement into an uncomfortable one, so you can avoid them completely. Now let us talk about how to turn this simple movement into a daily ritual that truly supports your body, rather than stressing it. Because the goal is not to push, not to strain, and certainly not to compete with anyone. The goal is to remind your muscles and your nervous system how to work together again, calmly and safely. Imagine a sturdy chair, one that doesn't slide and has a firm seat. You stand in front of it, feet about hip-width apart, toes pointing slightly outward so your knees can move naturally. Before you even move, you take a slow breath in, and as you begin to sit, you gently send your hips back, as if you're reaching for the chair with your tailbone. You lower yourself slowly, feeling your thighs and hips take the load, not collapsing, not dropping. Then, as you exhale, you press through your heels and stand back up, tall and steady. This slow, controlled rhythm is what matters. Not speed, not depth, just control. Even if you only lower yourself a few inches at first, that's enough to wake up the muscles. Over time, as confidence and strength return, the movement becomes smoother, easier, almost graceful. For many people over 60, 5 to 10 repetitions once or twice a day is a wonderful start. You might do them in the morning to wake up your legs, and again in the afternoon to keep circulation flowing. If you need to use your hands on the armrests at first, that's perfectly fine. The goal is simply to use them less and less over time, letting your legs do more of the work. Breathing is important. Never hold your breath. A gentle inhale as you lower, a slow exhale as you rise. This keeps your blood pressure steady and your body relaxed. Tension is the enemy of good movement. Now, let's talk about the small daily habits that make this exercise even more powerful. Hydration is one of them. Muscles and joints are mostly water. When you are even slightly dehydrated, they become stiffer and less responsive. A glass of water before your movement session can make a surprising difference in how your body feels. Protein is another key. After 60, the body becomes less efficient at using protein to maintain muscle. This means you often need a little more than you did when you were younger. Simple sources like eggs, yogurt, fish, beans, or a small portion of lean meat can help provide the building blocks your muscles need to respond to exercise and grow stronger. Vitamin D and gentle sunlight exposure also support muscle function and balance by helping the nervous system communicate more clearly with the muscles. Even a few minutes of daylight each day can be beneficial. There are also common mistakes I want you to avoid. One is rushing the movement. Fast, uncontrolled sitting and standing puts unnecessary stress on the knees and back and robs the nervous system of the chance to learn. Another mistake is letting the knees collapse inward. Keeping them gently aligned with your toes protects the joints and engages the right muscles in the hips. Another very common error is doing the movement only when you feel energetic. Consistency is far more important than intensity. Even on days when you feel tired, doing just a few slow repetitions sends the message to your body. We are still using these muscles. Do not shut them down. And finally, there is the emotional side. Many people over 60 carry a quiet fear in their body. Fear of pain, fear of falling, fear of doing something wrong. This fear can make movements small, guarded, and tense. But when you practice this exercise in a safe environment, with a chair behind you, moving slowly and mindfully, you begin to rebuild trust. You teach your body that it is capable, that it is strong enough, that it can support you. In the final part, I want to speak to that deeper layer. The layer of confidence, hope, and the belief that it is not too late to feel stable and strong again. I will tie everything together and leave you with a message that, in my experience as a surgeon, is one of the most important truths about aging and movement. There is something very powerful that happens when a person over 60 realizes, often for the first time in years, my body can still change. Not in a dramatic overnight way, but in a quiet, steady, reassuring way. Strength begins to return. Movements feel more certain. The fear that once lived in the background starts to soften. As a surgeon, I have seen both sides of aging. I have seen the consequences of weakness, of falls, of muscles that were never asked to stay awake. But I have also seen recovery that surprised even the patients themselves. I have seen people in their 70s and 80s stand up from a chair with ease, after months of believing that stiffness and struggle were simply their fate. I have seen their posture improve, their steps become lighter, their confidence grow. And almost always, it begins with something simple, not a complicated machine. Not an expensive program. Just the body practicing what it was designed to do, sit, stand, and support itself. Walking will always have its place. It is good for the heart, the lungs, and the mind. But after 60, what protects your independence most is not how far you can walk in a straight line. It is how well your legs, hips, and core can lift you, stabilize you, and catch you when life moves in an unexpected direction. That is why this gentle at-home sit-to-stand movement can be, in many ways, more important than walking alone. Every time you rise from a chair with control, you are telling your body, I still need these muscles. I still need this balance. I still plan to live actively. You are investing in the moments that truly matter. Getting out of bed in the morning, standing up from the toilet without help, stepping confidently into the shower. Getting up from the floor if you ever need to. And perhaps just as importantly, you are sending a message to yourself. A message of capability, of resilience, of hope. It is never about becoming young again. It is about becoming stable, strong, and secure in the body you have now. It is about reducing fear and increasing trust. It is about knowing that even a few minutes a day, done with care, And consistency can quietly change the trajectory of your aging. So start gently. Start today. Stand up. Sit down. Breathe. Feel your legs working. Feel your body supporting you. Let that simple movement remind you that you are not fragile. You are adaptable. If this message resonated with you, if it gave you a sense of clarity or comfort, take a moment to like this video so more people who need this reassurance can find it. Subscribe if you want to continue learning how to protect your health and independence in a calm, realistic way. And in the comments, share how your body feels today, or what you hope to improve. Your story may be exactly what someone else needs to hear.